Tonight, we are following the latest out of Sutherland Springs, Texas, where a gunman sprayed bullets inside a church, killing 26 people and leaving more than 20 more hurt. And we learned today that the victims range in age from 18 months to 77 years old. The gunman was 26-year-old Devin Kelly. He committed suicide inside his car shortly after the horrific crime.
That's right. Kelly received a bad conduct discharge from the Air Force 3 years ago and has a history of domestic issues. Investigators said today that they may have been looking for his mother-in-law, when he arrived at the church. They also said the shooting was not racially or even religiously motivated.
Well, the tragedy in Texas has prompted one local religious leader to plan active shooter training for members of his congregation.
Join your side's Emily Lampa has more on that for us tonight.
Most people walk into a church looking for spiritual enlightenment, not places to hide. They're seeking community, not the exits, in case they need to run. The pews, a place to reflect, not a potential weapon to pick up and defend yourself.
In this sanctuary right here, if someone came in, God forbid, you have targets who wouldn't even, would they know what to do? Would they know where to run?
Reverend Darius Pridgeon recognizes with the church shooting in Sutherland Springs, he's changed the way he thinks about protecting his congregation. He wants his parishioners to be prepared in case the unspeakable happens. When I look out at this congregation, I always know that I have responsibility for their souls. It became very apparent to me after what happened in Texas, that I also have responsibility for their bodies. Pridgeon reached out to Buffalo Police to have them assess True Bethel Baptist's vulnerabilities and come up with a plan of action. He asked the officers to then speak to church members at each of the 4 worship services this coming Sunday.
How many people would you say fits inside the church? And then on top of that, how many people typically show up every Sunday?
Yeah, we might have in this building, twice in this building, 700 people per service. So you're looking at 1,500 people. At our other locations, another 400 people. So, you're potentially talking about 2,000 to 3,000 people who are gathered on a Sunday morning who have no idea of what they would do if there's an active shooter.
Pridgeon is not just a pastor. He's also the president of the City of Buffalo's Common Council. He plans to propose similar training at City Hall with the hope that active shooter preparedness becomes a community-wide initiative at all facilities where large groups gather.
But the one thing that I think is so important is that they know that their leaders, whether it be city, whether it be their religious leaders, their community leaders, will look out for them by doing everything they can to keep them safe.
Well, right now, Pridgeon is at the YMCA on William Street hearing from Buffalo Police SWAT team instructors. A spokesperson from BPD tells me that any business or organization can reach out to them for information or advice. Now, the Department of Homeland Security, they created an instructional video which tells you what to do in the event of an active shooter situation. And we have a link attached to this report on our website, WGRZ.com.